The stats for people who trade are not good, right? Because it is such an emotional game for people, and people end up emphasizing all the wrong things about it. And before you know it, they're trying to solve problems that they don't really need to have in the first place. This is why I stress so much the basis of knowledge and understanding, because that takes you to places that solve and cure other problems that are emotional in nature and so on. Just relax, take a breath, look at the markets. Don't think about what you can get. Think about what you might understand. Think about if you understand something. And if you don't, continue watching. Our brains, our minds are probably certainly they're the best indicator possible, because they're absorbing information, storing it. And, when we sleep, scientists now believe that your mind goes through this process of storing information that you took in and putting it in different places in your brain, sort of taking the day's information and managing that data, putting it wherever it needs to be, because it doesn't get loaded in that spot right away at the moment it happens, apparently. There's, longer term, deeper memory and so on. And all of that memory comes to your rescue, and over time, when you're just watching and relaxing and being around markets, there will be something that'll come up and it'll look pretty good to you. And could I be incorrect? Could we be incorrect about a situation that we waited for? Yeah, but we're not going to throw a whole bunch of money at being incorrect. A lot of people do, because they don't want to be wrong. But I do want to stress that not wanting to be wrong is not the same thing as learning how to wait until you're correct. Not wanting to be wrong is what people do when they argue. Nobody wants to concede a point. That's not the same thing as being able to win an argument with good points. Not wanting to be wrong in the market is not the same thing as learning to wait your turn until you understand what the market's really going to do. Not wanting to be wrong is a 4-year-old child. That's what it is. And we all have one in us, but you can't make a career out of trading as a 4-year-old. But you can make a career out of trading as somebody who's waiting for the right place and time to assert their knowledge by placing an order in the market and so on. And the way I say that, it might sound like that's going to be months apart. It isn't. But however far apart it is, should be no real concern, because your real concern should be focused on being correct, not right like in an argument, but correct through understanding and knowledge. Hey, I really understand what I'm seeing here. And then you will have much, much better trades. When we do these Square Principle seminars, and thank you, some of you came yesterday to our Square Principle webinar, and we very much appreciate that you were there, and a couple of you purchased seats, and I'm very excited for you to be there. You're going to see, when you've learned the Square Principle, how easy it is to just know that it's not your time yet to place a trade, and you're waiting for a certain thing relative to the Square Principle to happen. And you take on a very nice orderly pace in your day, and you're not just being driven by 4-year-old emotions. And we all have them. I'm not making any claims that I don't have those, but I've learned to kind of move outside of their influence, because they really don't have a part in what we're trying to really do. They just don't have a job to do in the middle of this. So if I wanted to get in a little pissy contest with somebody, then they have a job. But other than that, they don't. When you're really saying, I'm waiting for the easy and obvious in the markets, and then I'll take my turn when that happens, that doesn't require any work from the 4-year-old. The 4-year-old is just sitting in a corner and he isn't doing anything. So keep all of that in mind. I know I stress all this so much, but people are just so, can you at least do this for me? And then I promise I'll shut up about this. Can you watch your own thinking, your mind, your thoughts, and see how hopelessly hypnotized most of us are by money? And that hypnosis speaks to you. You go into a kind of a trance when you think about it. I do, you do. Ordinary people that think about money kind of go into a trance, and they think about, in our case, making money in the market, or somebody else making money by selling a product or something. And that trance isn't an act of intelligence. The markets demand intelligence. If you're in a trance, you're not going to do real well in the markets. And the idea of money, making money, future life with money, will put you into a trance. How about no trance, just intelligence? How about that on your next t-shirt? No trance, just intelligence.